What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and as you can tell by the title, I'll be predicting the Sky Bet Championship 2018-19 table. Well, it's going to be my opinions. Whether it happens or not, I don't know, but it's just my opinion. So before you see the where I've put your team, or if you're just looking and you disagree with anything I say, just don't fire at me in the comments. It's just my opinion. You will have obviously a different opinion to me, but these are just my opinions, so let's get straight into it. But just before we get into it, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to my channel for more Championship content, more Forest content, any content you would like me to see. And yeah, so let's get into the table. Right, so my prediction for the bottom three, as you'll see on screen right now, it's Rotherham to go down bottom, Bolton to go down second to bottom, and Wigan to go down third to bottom. I think Rotherham just aren't equipped enough to stay up. They're obviously not got much money to do anything with. They did well last year by getting promoted through the playoffs, I think it was, but I just don't think they'll have it in them to stay up again. Last time I was in the Championship, they did very poorly, and I think just got about 20 points or something like that. Very poor season from Rotherham last time I was in the Championship. Everyone just really seen it as a game where they could win, but they'll hope they can do better this year. Whether they can is a different question. Whether the players can be more equipped to the Championship this year, I don't know. But Bolton, I think, will go down in second this year because they just survived on the last day last year with my team Forest giving them the win. Not giving them the win, but they beat us, and we didn't really turn up in our best form. So they beat us and just kept up last year on the final day. And I don't think they'll be able to do it again this year. I don't think enough money's being spent. Obviously, everything's going off with the wages at the minute. People are the players are going on strike because they're not being paid or something like that. So the club's a bit of a mess at the minute. I think the players may be back in pre-season training now, but it's still a mess of what's happened at Bolton. So I think they'll go down second to bottom. And it was a real tough choice for the third from bottom. I just gone Wigan. I don't think they're going to invest enough. I think the way the Championship's moving, there's certain teams that aren't moving with it, such as Bolton, Rotherham. And I think Wigan will be one of them teams that won't move on with the Championship. So where teams are chucking money, obviously they can't help not having money and things like that. They'll have a bit of money, but not too much. So they can't really chuck and splash money around to improve the team, to improve with the Championship. So I'm predicting Wigan to go down third from bottom. Now I'm going to discuss the three teams that I think will just stay up and do have a chance of going down if they don't perform on certain weeks. And obviously when it drags towards the end of the season, they will have a chance of going down if Wigan especially turn it on, in my opinion. Them teams going from 21st to 19th are Ipswich, Reading and QPR. Ipswich, they've got a new striker, but they've obviously got rid of David McGoldrick, people like that. There's talks of Waghorn going. So I believe Ipswich will not go down, but have a very good chance of going down. And they could surprise everyone and go mid-table or something like that, but in my opinion they're going to be fourth from bottom and just stay up close to the final day. Reading, another one of them teams that aren't investing enough for me. They're not improving the team. The team was good enough 2 years, I think it was ago. They was in the playoff final, was it? Yeah, to Huddersfield. But last season they didn't really do anything, and this season I think they're going to get worse again and keep dropping. So I think I've predicted Reading to finish 20th, and 19th I've gone for QPR. I think they've got Steve McLaren in charge now, and I just don't think he's a good manager in himself. The team's not good enough. And I just think QPR will struggle to survive. Right, so now I'll be showing you my predictions between the 18th and 12th, where the teams who aren't, in my opinion, aren't going to push for the playoffs and aren't going to threaten anyone in the top 6, but aren't going to be threatened by the bottom 3 and the drop back to League 1. So going from 18th to 12th, my predictions are Blackburn, Hull, Birmingham, Millwall, Brentford, Sheffield United and Norwich. Blackburn, they're well equipped in my opinion. They've got Bradley Dack, Danny Graham, a few other good players as well that have helped them get back up to the Championship, because in my opinion they are a Championship level team, if you know what I mean. So they had a disappointing season 2 years ago when they just managed to drop into the relegation zone on the final day and get relegated. But they've done well last season, got themselves back up. I think they finished second in the league, but I think they're a very good equipped team for the Championship. 17th I've gone Hull. All the other teams, they've not really spent money. They've just rode on through the transfer window, just going by things, doing pre-season, just getting on with things quietly. And a few of the players obviously going back on loan to the clubs. So I don't think Hull will really do anything this season. Above them is Birmingham. They've obviously got Gary Monk in charge. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes at Birmingham with like the money problems and things like that. Some saying they're in an embargo, some saying they're not, it's perfectly fine. So no one knows really at the minute what's happening with Birmingham, so they can't really go and splash the cash on anyone. So they've got the team from last season who I don't think is very good, and I'm not sure if they've made any signings yet, but Birmingham are predicted to finish 16th. Millwall have gone 15th. They started off for a flyer last year, Millwall did, and they had a real good go at trying to get into the playoffs, but just come up towards the end of the season, started to drop off a bit, and I don't think they'll be able to replicate that again this season. That, like at other clubs, they've not really moved on with the Championship, as in buying players. So I think their team's good enough to stay in the league and be competitive, but I don't think they'll push for the playoffs this year. Brentford in 14th. I think they sold John Egan, it was, to I can't remember who, but he's gone now, and they're just a mid-table Championship team in my opinion. They won't do anything. 13th Sheffield United, like Millwall last season, shocked everyone and went for the playoffs, and had a real good go again last year, but like Millwall again, towards the end of the season they started to drop off a bit and lose more points. And then in 12th, I think the team will be smack bang mid-table is Norwich. Some people think they should be going for the playoffs and trying to get back to the Premier League. I don't, in my opinion. They've not got a good enough team. They've signed Tim Krul and people like that, but they have got a good team. It's just whether they gel and the manager gets them going and things like that to go for the playoffs. I don't think they will though. So that's my predictions in the table between 18th and 12th. Now the teams that I think will give the playoff, whoever finishes in the playoffs, a good go, but won't have enough quality and etc. to get there, are the positions between 11th and 7th. So I'm going to go Preston 11th, Bristol City 10th, Aston Villa 9th, Sheffield Wednesday 8th, and West Brom 7th. Let's start off with Preston. Last season there was like Millwall and Sheffield United. They've been getting gradually better in every year after coming up from League One, and they've got a very good team in my opinion, a good Championship team, and they can challenge this year if they want to, but it depends whether the manager gets them going or not. I don't think they will do much there. They could get a few good results and maybe push on for the playoffs towards the end of the season, who knows, but in my opinion they'll finish 11th. Bristol City in 10th. See, I think the losses of Aidan Flint and Bobby Reid will be big for Bristol City this year. Everyone's known Bristol City to be a team that challenges every year, does well now. That they've put themselves up there, but Flint, in my opinion, is the best centre back in the league. He's gone. He's gone to Middlesbrough, and I think that'll be a big loss for him, because he got quite a few goals for them from centre back, like from corners and set pieces, etc. So I think him going with Bobby Reid, who was their top striker last season, arguably the top player last season as well. He's gone to Cardiff in the Premier League, so Bristol City's lost two big players there, and they've not really replaced them with anyone, so I think they'll finish 10th. Aston Villa I've got in 9th. I would put them in the playoffs. It's just everything surrounding them at the minute. They've got no money. Can't even afford loans and free agents and things like that. They spent all the money over the past 2 seasons to try and get back up to the Premier League, but it's not happening. And Grealish apparently on the verge of signing for Tottenham, so whether that goes through or not. But I think Villa's still got a very good team, one of the best in the Championship. It's just whether Steve Bruce will keep his job. They've said they're going to back him, but how far into the season will they back him? Because as soon as results are going the wrong way, I think they'll get rid of him. And then who do they turn to then? Who knows, but I've got Villa to finish 9th. Wednesday I've got 8th. Now this is a shock to some fans around the Championship. I'm a good friend with a Sheffield Wednesday YouTuber. He's called Brad Garside. Go check his channel out. He makes Wednesday vlogs, like I make Forest vlogs. And he's got his team to finish high this year. I don't think they'll finish that high, but I think they'll do well, because they've got people like Forestieri, Hutchinson, all them like coming back from injury, Hooper, etc. And Forestieri is one of the best players in the Championship. So I think they'll do well this year, Wednesday. They'll push for the playoffs, but whether they have enough quality to get over the line, and whether the manager's smart enough and good enough to get them over the line, because we've not known much about them. We've literally seen, I can't remember his name, for half a season I think it was, maybe even less than that, so we can't really take much from it. Towards the end of the season they start picking up good wins and performances and things like that, but whether they take that on into this season, who knows. And the team I think that will finish just outside the playoffs is West Brom. Now they've dropped down, they signed Sam Johnston, and they've got rid of McLean and Johnny Evans, and they've got a very good team. let's start from like thinking Johnston, Barry, Gibbs, Burke, Chadley if he stays, Morrison, Blunt, Rondon. Whether them players stay, who knows? But as of recording it, they are all a West Brom player, so I can only go with what I see. And I think there'll be one of them teams that think they can go and smash the league this year, but I don't think they will. They think it's going to be easy, but other teams will trump them and get into the playoffs ahead of them. Right, so now I'm going to predict the top 6, but first it's going to be 6 to 3rd, so the playoffs. So who I think will get into the playoffs. And from 6th to 3rd, I'm going to go Leeds to nip into the playoff. They've got a very good manager. I think it's Bielsa now, is it? So very good manager now. They're making a few good signings. I think Lewis Baker signed Jamal Blackman. Bamford's on the verge of signing for him for 7 million. That's a good signing. So I think Leeds will be a big force this season, and they need to be, because they're a sleeping giant. And they're one of them clubs that need to be back in the Premier League sooner rather than later. And I think they've got a good chance this year because good manager, very good manager, decent team. I think it will all gel for Leeds this year. 5th, I've got Derby County. It pains me to say it as a Forest fan, but I can see Derby doing well this year. I think Lampard will be one of them managers that people want to do well. He may start off a bit slow, but then they'll start to pick the results up throughout the season and then get things going with the team. And I think they'll be a real force this year. They've signed Mason Mount from Chelsea and Harry Wilson from Liverpool on loan. And they're 2 good signings, especially added to what they've already got. They could be a big force this year. Vidra, obviously the big bubble still surrounding him. Where is he going to go? He's been linked with Leeds. He's been linked with other clubs. Whether he stays or goes is his choice. Derby needs the money off Vidra. I think they're going to sell him for about 10-13 million. The Championship top goal scorer last season. But Derby need that money. So whether they sell him or they keep him to really go for it this year, who knows? But I've got Derby 5th. And in 4th, I've got my team, Nottingham Forest. Now, I'm pretty sure every Championship fan have realised how much money we've spent this year. As a total of what we'll spend in the next 3 years with the players we've brought, it's probably up towards 50 million. Carvalho signing for 13, Goncalves and Diaz on loan, but with view to buys. So we've got the 3 Portuguese amigos now. And I think Forest will be a big force this year. We made 10 new signings. Karanka's one of the best managers in the Championship in my opinion, but I'm biased here because it's my club, Forest. But I think Forest will give it a real go this year and get in the top 6, and it's been what we need because we're a sleeping giant. We need to get back to the Premier League. We've been away from it for a good 20 years now, and I think it's our time I wouldn't say it's our time because we've said it in the past, like under Pearce and that lot, but I think Forest will give it a good go this year. We've signed a lot of players, spent a lot of money, so if it goes wrong, it can go wrong in the future with financial fair play and etc. So we need to do it this year, and I think we're best equipped to do it this year as well with the players we've got. Graben, one of the best strikers in the Championship, he scores goals. The 3 amigos, we don't know how they're going to perform against Championship opposition yet. And then people like Colback joining back, Pantelimon, Robinson joining us, Dawson coming back. I think it'll be a good year, and I think the 3rd position, who'll just miss out on the automatic promotion, is Swansea City. I think they're a very, very good team. They was unlucky to come down this season under Carvajal, was it? I think it was. But I think they'll do well this year. They'll be a big threat again if they keep the players, like Stoke and West Brom. If they keep the players, they'll do very well. And I think Swansea will finish. Not really much to say about Swansea. They've got the teams dropping down to the Premier League, and they're hoping to just bounce straight back. Now this is where it gets interesting. The 2 teams that I think will finish 2nd and 1st, and the teams that will go automatically to the Premier League. I think Middlesbrough will finish 2nd, and Stoke will win the league. Middlesbrough, they've got Randolph, Flint, Ayala, Clayton, Downing, Sambalanga. A very, very good team in the Championship, and they should be challenging this year. And if they're not, there's problems, especially under Tony Pulis. He plays a certain way that could suit the Championship, and especially the sign of like Aidan Flint from set piece, and they'll be a big threat this year in Middlesbrough. People need to watch out for them because they'll storm the Championship if people aren't careful. And they can get a Sambalanga on firing on all cylinders, then teams are in trouble, because I've seen him what he can do when he was in a Forest shirt. People seen what he could do in the Middlesbrough shirt last season. He didn't do as well, but he did very good. still, and I think we'll see a very strong Middlesbrough side this year under Tony Pulis, and I've gone for Stoke to win the league. I think out of the teams that have come down, they're the biggest club out of the three. They've got the best team out of the three, and it seems like they're going to keep a few of the players like Butler and Shawcross. Allen signed a new contract. Butler, I don't think wants to go anywhere, wants to try and get them back up first time, especially with the adding of Rowett as manager, who has signed Tommins, Benica Fobe, James McLean. They're really going for it this year, and they need to, because if they don't get up this time, there's problems, because the team they've got is one of the best I've seen for a championship team. The players they've got in there is just a very, very big team, big squad, very good players, talented, and I think they'll win the league this year quite comfortably as well. Not they'll smash the league, but I think there'll be a little bit of a gap between them and Middlesbrough. And then obviously Middlesbrough and Swansea to fight a second, but I've got Middlesbrough black for that one. But that's going to do it for the end of the video. If you enjoyed, then drop a like below, subscribe if you haven't for more championship content and more Forest content. Until then, see ya.